Not all ducks fly south for the winter, and sometimes a duck isn't a duck at all. We're on location here in Boston with the CEO of Boston Duck Tours, Cindy Brown, and welcome to the Language of Business.
Thanks for coming. We're happy to have you here.
Let's go in a duck and find out what you've been up to.
All right, let's go.
Good to be on a duck. What is the last possible day during the calendar year that you can take a tour?
Well, typically our last day is the Sunday after Thanksgiving. They'll be doing some private charters after that into December, but for the public, it's the Sunday after Thanksgiving, which is our typical date.
What do you do during the off season here in the garage?
Well, the garage is actually really busy in the off season. Many people think that we just shut shop down and go on vacation and come back in March, and it couldn't be any farther from the truth. We have 18 full-time mechanics and detailers that work on the ducks. They have major projects that they do. During the season, it's hard to take a duck offline to do anything major, so we spend the winter time doing big projects and things that we couldn't necessarily do in a day or two. And it's a big job because we've got 29 vehicles to go through.
Any exciting maintenance projects scheduled for the winter?
Well, maintenance isn't that exciting, but if it were to be, we have a couple things that we're working on. Cameras on the front and the back of the ducks, like a backup camera so that they can see on the monitor when they're backing up. We've got cameras on the sides of the duck and inside that help us in case there's an accident or we need to see what happened in the surrounding areas. And we also have sensors that we're putting on the ducks that will beep as soon as a vehicle gets close to it so that they have a knowledge of someone being on the side or in front of it. So all this stuff is new-ish technology, and we're starting to get through what's the best product and what's been tested, and we feel like adding this is going to make the tour even better and even safer.
What sort of marketing do you do during the winter?
The marketing is actually really busy in the winter. We're getting ready for the next year, so we have a lot of international visitor marketing that we do. We're doing some sales missions abroad. We have a lot of planning for school trips that are coming in the spring. It's our time to actually work hard without the confusion and the busyness of serving guests. And for a lot of us, we're busier in the winter than we are during the season.
Is that the same as in-season marketing?
Well, in-season marketing, we have these ducks rolling around the streets on full rolling billboards, which we love. But we also use a lot of TripAdvisor and Yelp. The reviews that guests give us are really helpful for us with respect to new visitors coming to town, trying to decide what to do or what not to do. And word of mouth has always been great for us. A lot of people say, everyone told me when I come to Boston, the first thing I need to do is a Boston Duck Tour. So a lot of that stuff is very organic and obviously a lot cheaper than real advertising. So we milk that as long as we can.
How do you keep everything innovative after so many years?
You know, it's interesting. Every year we have some new drivers, they have new characters, they have new personalities, they have new energy, so that always helps. But we're also looking to add things every year. A couple of years ago we added foreign translation tours that are GPS based, so we can accommodate visitors from other countries. We have 9 different languages right now. We have, depending upon what's going on in the city, we have things to promote. So it's always fun to try and find something to focus on, whether it's polish and perfection, which was one year where we're looking at making sure everything was clean and pristine. So believe it or not, after 23 years, we're still finding things to focus on to make it exciting.
Now that you're separating the driver and the tour guide, does that give you a recruiting opportunity?
It does. You know, we had in the past a lot of people that we'd interview for our full conductor position that might be a great driver but not a great personality, or likewise people that had an over-the-top fun personality to give the tour but weren't exactly the best drivers or having the ability to have a clean driving record. So now our scope is broadened to the fact that we can hire both of those people to do the alternate roles. So I think it will help us a lot. It's still a lot of people to hire, but I think it will give us people actually that we've maybe turned down in the past, call them back and bring them in to do one of the other roles.
If things have been going so well in the summer, why don't you guys go south for the winter and open up in a winter location just for a few months?
We've thought about that. We've thought about expanding into other markets, and in the end we decided that we love Boston. Our connections to the city are here. The city itself lends itself to a duck tour. A lot of people think you can just put a duck in another city and it will be profitable, but you really need good weather, good tourist market, history, and a good water source. And most cities don't have that. So most of the cities, believe it or not, across the country have been going out of business.
The original ducks you have in service versus the ones that were built in the last decade, are they different at all?
Yeah, so we were using original World War II vehicles back in the day, and we were running out of parts and equipment. So we've had these built from scratch, the same replica model, but with all new safety equipment, better technological advancements, and we're happy with them.
How do the parades work? Do you either pay or get paid to do them?
It's interesting. We don't get paid, and we don't pay to do them. It's really just a great relationship we have with the city. The city pays for sponsors, and they get that money to help pull off the parade because it's very expensive, and we get the marketing exposure. It costs us money and it costs us a lot of stress. I think a couple of my gray hairs are from parades, but for the most part, it's just a great opportunity for us as far as marketing, so we put up with the cost. But it's one of those things that you can't pay for that publicity, and our staff can't pay for that experience. They are just so happy to be able to drive around a duck with Tom Brady or Pedro Martinez or whoever it is at that time.
And no other company has ever infringed on your franchise, right?
Knock wood, no, not yet. At this point, you know, we've had a little lockstep on that that one. So we just need a team to win. I thought the Red Sox were going to do it this year, but maybe it's the Patriots.
Cindy, thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Cindy Brown, CEO of Boston Duck Tours.